Wow. You want to watch next? Okay. Let's just no. Let's start out just warm me up for that basic Tokyo motion. Again, it goes to a hand blade, but is it going to rain today? Hopefully. I need it. Yeah, from there, when we got the direction, it's a cutting motion. But one of those heavy days, it comes in can provide an uplifting image, you know? Warriors aren't very good, but we still have difficulty. That feeling a little bit like that. We're going to go there, but just get that first one. Okay. Let's see what that. We know we're going to go over there, but let's see. We know the destination, but let's see what the journey is. The journey. The journey. Let's do this one. Eventually it goes here. It goes in side motion, but getting that first part. That's just enough. Let's put it down. It gathers so we can ascend. It gathers so we can ascend. Okay, right? Basic culture, right? Okay. All right. Well, kind of basic POQ. We're just going to say, maybe the situation is kind of, before we start the dialogue. Okay. What was that? Oh, it's fun?
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
Can I fix it or?
Fix it. Fix it. Technological, whatever it is. Yeah. Don't change the thoughts a lot. Okay. It's funny, I used to watch those sensei movies. It's always right now. Film would always burn. This is before video. That was in those days. Huh? We don't want it something I'm gonna do, but it's more like who you are. you're grounded enough that you can uplift the situation. You know? Okay. Well, that's healing a little bit. So that's like we're going to go this way or that way, and really what it is a little bit. Okay. Thanks for an Aikido class. Light and dark, the world is a mixture of things. But here, different vibes. Different vibe. So I got to get there. Yes, you do. Yeah, that's the journey is important, not just the destination. The journey is right here, right now. Right here, right now. Okay, right? I mean, I would think, if a sensei were to walk in the room, we would probably go, there's a different vibe in the room. Okay? He's not physically here anymore. It's up to us. We're trying to tap into it. Okay? So let's go one more round. Rotate. Look with a different partner. One of the things I would do a little bit, extend your arms. Yeah, now, if you're tapping it, offer it to somebody else. Right? Yeah, an opening. Right? In other words, if you're going to present a gift to somebody, I don't want to give it to you, but I have to. So come on, it's yours. So if we can kind of get that feeling right. Whether it goes right or left, there's and so, times are going to go light, they're going to be good. We're going to go dark, we get a mixture, but, in the midst of all that, there is, there's this uplifting force. Okay, yeah, which is constant, which kind of buoys us when things are kind of dark, and also gets us to appreciate when things are light. That feeling of it. Okay. And let's right here, just two hands. Okay. Now, but step, but here, let's raise. Eventually it goes to here. So we get to basketball, that's a rush shot. You make it good, but supposed to flow the game's off. We'll lead a little bit. Now what I'm doing a little bit is not much. Just to the stretch. Okay? We'll put weight on you. Life's a combination of light and dark. Okay, if it's all dark, but it's all light, we tend to spiral up and out. But not really, this is an uplifting force, a positive, a hope. All right. Now what we're going to do. Cut, raise, cut. Okay, let's change partners. Okay. Now you can cut over the top. We're kind of on this one. This is a harder one. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think? We do that. Got it? Good. Boom. Now, we could go this way, but let's go this way and that one. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, okay. Yeah. So I get sometimes some people have that quality. You know what I mean? The day is a mixture of good and bad, light and dark. It always is. You get when you're younger, it's more good than bad. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now we can right here. Boom. Motion. So right here, we're raising. Going to turn. Now we're going to cut, raise, and then close another cut motion. Okay, right? Just three of you go. Okay. Yeah. A little bit more circle on that one. Okay. There we go. Right here. That's good. Right. Right. Boom. See, my intention fix this. Now I got to get over here. Right. No. Up. There. Motion. Yeah. Look at this one. Well, tell me if Osensei was here, which is not. All of a sudden, you come to grab him. All of a sudden, where'd he go? Where'd he go? How do I figure that movement out? It's in the moment experience of it. There's a yang motion and a yin motion. Right? When we really start cooking, that's even right here. It's obvious when there's pause right here for you to do that. Okay? Now, I don't want to try to be in two places at once, and then I set up a thing where I'm reaching. Right where you are, the two spirals, and they come together. Right for you. Okay, no pause. They just are in perfect harmony. You don't have to go, which one is it? They're both there. Okay, keep going. Right. Yeah. That's, now, the hard one. Okay, now we do this one a lot. Okay, which is simple. In other words, you keep going this one. This is good too. Okay, but this is one where we're cutting back. Right? In other words, the circle turns, and the circle turns and turns. That's good. But right here, boom, the circle turns and it reverses. Yin turns to yang, yang turns to yin, fire turns to water, water turns to fire, and they're both agreeable. You see what I'm doing? They're in harmony. Okay, now here we have, it's a good one too. But life is fun sometimes when you don't know where things are going to go, but everything's fresh and new. Everything's fresh and new. We're standing right there, and it's an uplifting feeling. We're grounded. There's a substantial quality here. Okay. Somebody says you can't do it, and Steph Curry says I can. Right? Uplift from a grounded, balanced place. Yeah. And have a flow. And they're alive. You may even know where it's going to go, but it's a fresh experience. Every time it happens, you're fresh in that experience. It's very cleansing. Then after a while, somebody grabs you and you have some of that too. That's the game. Okay, well, that's the game. Everything's alive, fresh. From a very grounded place, it's uplifting. Okay, all right, we need that these days. Two hands. Okay, now, a couple of things right there. You're starting the movement without, you have a nice car, but there's no engine in it. There's a wonderful engine in it. This car is going to run for 200,000 miles and look shiny all the way. That's the feeling of it. I try to move. Yeah. I'm going to go on a vacation, but I don't bring my joy with me. Okay. Oh. And then from here, you can cut. We do this over the top. This one will be different. This cuts this way. Okay. Oh, so right here. Good. Now we do this. We cut over the top. Okay. So on this particular one, we're going to go this way. Okay. It's wildly unpredictable and fun. If you know how things are going to be, sometimes you know it's not fun. It's when things are new. No, you know there's a pattern here, but there's a sense of that uplifting feeling. Okay? No, we're going under as opposed to over. Try it again. Uplift. Go again. More. Yes. All right, good. I'll get out of your way. So you could do that more. I'm getting it. You really get it. 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 Don't be satisfied with I'm getting it. Okay, go again. More. You're not even thinking about it, but you walk into the room and everybody feels better. Okay, people like that are pretty precious, right? Okay. Okay. Let's have a seat. Okay. All right. Now let's see if we're not going to switch to this right now. Let's see how, these movements are. See, from here, there's a change to here, there's a change to here, there's a change to here, change to here. Okay. Now change is flow. This will start out good, but okay. I'll alter it a little bit. Now all of a sudden within that flow, it flips. Another one. Okay. You can kind of think of this as like, that's a parent, this is a parent. Okay. One's fire, one's water, one's using nage, one's using irimi. Okay. And the parents can feel kind of stern with their parents. Okay. All of a sudden they start to have kids. And the kids, the parents really aren't stern. And the kids just, they have quite a family going here. And so that's kind of how kami happens. They're kind of parent kami. In the parent kami, they kind of, for the first couple of generations, they just come out of nowhere. But then they start to, there'll be Izanagi, Izanami, Amaterasu, Susana, and all of a sudden they have kids. Boom, boom, boom. And those kids are they start to have now, for example, here, for that motion. The happy place where the kids are running around having fun. Okay? And when we're there, our spirits are kind of calm but clear. Instead of the uplift. All right? Okay? Now he comes in this way, then all of a sudden we're over here. Right? He comes in with two hands. He goes this way, all of a sudden it releases. And you see the kids don't stop having fun. It's fun to be a kid. I was hanging out with my granddaughter because we kind of elevate each other. I got a call yesterday from my daughter says, Dad, will you have dinner at Japantown at 5? And then she says, Nora requested it. So of course I was going to do it anyway. I said, sure. So she comes and we just sort of have dinner. And she's just running around, she's disappearing around the table and everything. Well, we lose that when we get too old and serious. But we're both the parent forces and the children. Kami is kami. Okay, but we get sometimes too heavy, too responsible. Now, this is not that you behave irresponsibly for all math. Okay, well, okay. But the movements here, just the one turns into, and so if you hold that for me, well, then we go to here, if you just 2 minutes, okay? Heavy situation. Yeah, boom. All right, boom. Yeah. And it's a grounded joy. It's a grounded joy. Not just a give or think happy thoughts. And when these flows are there and you're in that clear area, you're part of them. Okay? So on this one, too serious. No, not too serious. You're still the parent too. So that's dangerous. You should stop that. I'll give you something else to do that's equally fun that's not dangerous. You see, that sort of feeling. Parents are parents. Okay. But this is a roller coaster ride that doesn't stop. You're having fun, and all of a sudden it stops. See how it gets back into that? It's pretty big. It's pretty solid. Okay. Well, I can get in dealing with big and solid. Boom. Boom. So there's energy. There's joyous energy. Right? Yeah, but you get variations like that. The children play in different pathways, even though they're major patterns. Okay? So there's the technique, but there's you as this sort of clear that allows those energies or kami to do their thing. we tend to think calming, but there's a joyful feeling to it. Okay, let's change partners. Go one more time on this one. Yeah, okay, thank you. Ooh, wow. Yeah, it sure is. Now you're running into something back there, okay? We went this way and this way. Right. Stable ground, but flexible. Huh? All right. Now it's trying to open up for you. All right. Keep going. Better. But it is a little bit, you know. So you are Steph Curry. What's gonna happen? Quadruple team them. Nobody else can make a shot. It works. Okay. All of a sudden, we can get the ball to Clay. Okay, pass the ball. Clay's wide open. 3-point win. As opposed to like being Curry. Curry didn't do that. Look over there. Don't look at him. Over there. So yeah, when you're playful, you have vision. And when all we're dealing is weight and responsibility of the world, it's like all of a sudden we're kind of caught up in a tight little spiral that gets very heavy. Okay, so go again. Okay, yeah, it opens up, doesn't it? You got one more guy who can make a shot. Oh, keep going. What you find a lot is that if you're looking for the world to be stupid, you won't be disappointed. That stupidity is always there. Okay, you see what I mean? You don't have to look for it. You just have to find your own path. Then you get enough grounding and you soak enough in it that, as I said, you're not looking for the world to be stupid because you know that when the world is stupid, you get stupid. You see what I mean? That's why the world always wins, because we get stupid with it. Okay, so. Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's almost like, with Osensei, the coming. They're not just abstract things out there, on Shinto, on Japanese. So they were kind of like playmates. He told Nado Sensei once, he said, my name's like Amaterasu, the sun goddess, and Susanna, the sun god. He said, I was personalizing my energy. Okay? And so one of the things, for example, is that, we get so serious because the world makes us heavy. It's like all of a sudden, it's like all this stuff. Having fun. When you're having fun, it's very vital. When you have fun with purpose, you'll change the world. You see what I mean? It's like, oh, I got to get in there and do all the nitty gritty. Yeah, probably. But on the other hand, that can drag you down. All right? Being too serious all the time will kill you. All right? All right? Yeah. Now that uplifting, it has some ground to it. That's why this is possible. It's better to be an optimist than to be a pessimist, because if you're pessimistic, all you're seeing is doors closing. You're not seeing it when door closes, not when they open up. You see? And so, the point of it is to see that when one door closes, another one has to open. It's yin yang. Okay? So, yeah, that door shut, but then I'm going to be open as to catch where the next door is opening up. That's a lot of what Aikido, what key flow is. You wonder what key flow is. She grabs on, all of a sudden, okay, I got a problem here. But no, not really, not really. It's only a problem if I look at it and get too stupid and heavy with it. Okay? On the other hand, if I get a little too flighty with it, it takes, so we're developing ourselves. Okay, we're developing ourselves. Yeah? One way of looking at it, you're blessed with the best playmates in the world. Come in, boom. Boom. Okay. And if you're kind of like this, nobody wants to play with you. That actually is probably a lot of, what Sensei Shoji, right? All these, he was talking about all these kami, right? Little forces of creation, right? Physicists are still trying to figure the universe out. But they don't realize the universe is conscious, it's alive. And consciousness is a force. And we're alive, we're a force in creation, in the universe. Okay? And when you start to try to figure the universe out in terms of equations and numbers, you miss the fact that it's an alive, evolving creation as are we. And so when we start to get a relationship with the energies of the creation, essentially personalize them. These Japanese, we call them Japanese kami. You can use other ones. I mean, the other one is all of a sudden you've got teammates that are really good. Okay? One person is 7th grade and get bottled up, but all of a sudden he's going to have clay conscience. Okay. You can't do it all by yourself. But you can be in a clear state, grounded, open. To some degree, it's better to be an optimist than a pessimist. So these forces can dance through you, for you. Okay, that's a lot of what we're trying to do. Some of this is kind of crazy. In a sense, they were said, people say I'm teaching religion. I said, yeah, I kind of am religious, I'm spiritual, but I'm really teaching a science on a spiritual level. If we get out of our negativity, our heaviness, our pessimism, we clear. As we clear, we attract friendly forces, as opposed to very negative forces. You can't do this. Okay. So one of the things right here, all of those things, so whatever the movement happens to be, it's alive, it's vibrant. It's a martial art, but it has that vibrancy to it. Okay? So what I thought we'd do, she stands, we sit, we'll do a little bit of Handi Handashi with it. And just start to move around a little bit like you also stuff. Now, there's me doing a technique, but there's also these energies. I've got these fantastic teammates, playmates, whatever it is you want to call them. There's boom. When I'm negative, they kind of stay away. They might attract bullies and heavy things. If I can learn to kind of clear my system, not lighten, I want to be later. No, I want to be clear so that the finer energy can come in. And kind of, I can establish a relationship with them. Like what Sensei told me though, Sensei says, you know, Amaterasu Okami may not work for you. But my culture, the sun goddess, is a beautiful image. I personalize that energy, that creative force, by using the name Amaterasu. It's a type of kototama. If you are to some degree clear here, your speech attracts. There's a gravity to it. So we start to attract the finer forces of creation. So hopefully, even though, you know, times are kind of tough right now, our spirits remain uplifted, which is hard these days. So we're going to do some Hanmi Handachi. Let's spread out, got a lot of room. It's going to be a little bit more activity. We don't want people colliding. So change partners. One person sits, the other person stands, okay? Yeah, that'll do it. Why don't you move a little bit more in that corner? Okay, good. All right. And listen too. Of the four primary energies, you know, you got your weak force, strong force, electromagnetism. Gravity is the one that's hardest to explain. Okay? But one of the things here is and I'll go back over there. There's gravity. Boom. Boom. And again, there's gravity. Boom. There's gravity here. Boom. There's gravity here. There's energy. It pulls you. You see what I mean? So if I'm kind of like this, there's gravity here. Boom. Then the weak force, electromagnetism, boom, the currents, boom, positive flows around. They'll work for you. You know, it's not insisted. He wasn't teaching religion. He was teaching a type of spiritual science. If you clear through the misogi, it's Japanese word. As you clear here, we get rid of a lot of that negative stuff, which is very, very heavy. And then we get very pessimistic, and all of a sudden we're stuck with a bunch of low-level heavy energy. But if we start to clear, we start to attract different energy. Okay, now he used more of a, you know, I had a talk with Robert Fraser, and we discussed really the shamanic nature of reality. We don't understand the universe, we think we do. But even scientists, they don't really understand it. They're just trying to, they have numbers and equations to try to show what they get so far. But they don't really understand anything. All right? So Sensei was saying, well, basically, you don't understand the universe because the universe is somewhat conscious. Until you get that, you're also conscious. You are part of the universe. You understand you, you're going to understand the universe. And right about here, for example, we're doing, like, there's a little ripple here. You see the gravity here? The gravity here? Boom, the gravity. Gravity. Whoa, okay, we'll go that way. Yeah, they're coming in this way. Boom. Look out. Yeah. And you know, when you use the term gravity, it's the one thing that throws physicists. You can try to understand the universe, you still don't understand gravity. Einstein understood it in certain parameters, but then it breaks down at the quantum level. You have your weak force, strong force, electromagnetism based on charged particles. Okay, but then you have gravity. Yeah, you know, the elephant in the room nobody sees. We're right about it. Somebody told you. Yeah. Somebody told you. You got energy. So I want to do that. Right? And so, part of, that particular thing is that I think you consider that Aikido, really. Yeah, we have all these techniques we do, but if we can't clear where we can attract the more uplifting, positive pieces of creation, we're kind of stuck, in a heavy, dense, stupid world. And the more we butt heads with it, the dumber and stupider we get. We're right about here if all these things are alive. If they're alive, then it's a wondrous creation, and we're a part of it. And we attract really fun energy. Then we can uplift other people with it. You see what I mean? That's for him. It's like, you get a bipartisan country. But all of a sudden, boom, 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 something starts to mobilize it in a good direction. It doesn't mean Republicans are going to do this and Democrats are going to do that. It just means all of a sudden to realize those labels are labeled. So if we kind of do this sort of motion, whatever happens to be like, everything flows. We find that clearer space, we start to attract positive energy. Then people get up with it doesn't matter whether they're a Democrat or Republican. Yeah, we're Americans. We're human beings. Each of us has a mini universe inside. Boom. Then there's such this message is getting out there. You say, so one of the things, different energies, energies that are fun, energies that pull you into something you want to do. Okay, you see that feeling over there right there? So, go. Okay. You sort of have this, you have religion, which is kind of, an attempt to describe the human condition in relationship to something, okay? And you have science, which is trying to explain the universe, right? And the way I think they put it, he said, I'm religious, but I'm not teaching religion. I'm teaching spiritual science. And he said that, physical science has made tremendous strides, but there are problems because it doesn't deal with, quote unquote, the spirit. And, basically what happens is we kind of look at the fact that there's the universe, it's heavy, there's gravity, no problem, So what happens, our senses get really clogged. So all we see is what's heavy and stupid. Until we attract energies that are heavy and stupid, they get heavier and stupider. Okay? I know it's crazy, but there are other energies that are largely untapped, except maybe on a great day, if something really fantastic happens, you go, wow. Then you're uplifted for that moment until you're dragged down because your senses are used to being clogged. Okay? So a lot of what Sensei was talking about in the Aikido was Misogi is unclogging the senses, which means in some sense we're clearing ourselves. We're clearing ourselves of kind of what we see and what we think all the time and getting into new frontiers of being. And those new frontiers of being, there are energies that are largely untapped. Okay? The warrior signed Stephen Curry, what was it, 4 years on an extension, $215 million. His last year, he's going to be making almost $60 million. He's worth it. Why? It's a horrible team last year, but he's on the court. And I realize he's doing special stuff. So even though I can't afford it, I subscribe to cable so I can get blocked out, or blacked out, And, I'm still paying extra. And they didn't make the playoffs, but it was worth it. To see that energy. Okay? Now, the principle is that 2 beats 1, 3 beats 2, 4 beats 3. There's a numerology. Okay? So, for example, one of the things that we were kind of looking at, okay, for example, is that, for example, here, all the other team had to do was quadruple team Curry, because nobody else could make a shot. It worked enough. Okay, but if you had another player, he could pass the ball to, who could make a shot, they would have won a lot of games. All we got to do is stop one guy. Okay, let's just gang tackle him. Can't do that in basketball. We can quadruple team them. 4 beats 1. But you had one other player like a Clay Thompson. He's a teammate. He's an ally. I mean, basketball is just a game. The two teams are not supposed to hate each other. They're just supposed to provide a yin, yang, yang, yin entertainment. But it's kind of nice when somebody uplifts. It's not just an idea, I'm going to make the team better. Because Draymond put it well. He said, what did Steph do? Well, in fact, he inspired the whole team, even though it wasn't very good because he worked so hard. You could see his energy, his commitment. And it pulled them, they won some games. Boom, we'll go this way. Boom, boom. Well, and right here, there's energy. He walks on the court, there's energy. And it's kind of nice, when he has teammates. All right. So if he's quadruple team, he can pass the ball off. Somebody else can win the game. He doesn't have to win the game. He's just there to uplift. And he's the gravity that creates, need gravity to create. But of the 4 elementary forces, gravity is the one thing that throws everybody off. And those sensei said, Aikido is the cultivation of gravity. Energy, it pulls them, good. All right. Einstein postulated gravity waves, good. No gravity, no energy. I don't like gravity. It pulls me down into a stupid world and I got to deal with all this stuff, all this red tape. Yeah. So we exist on a level where we can let that force pull us into a finer level of ourselves. When we hang out with finer energy. I think they call them comets. So this old man can't do all that, but I got great allies. Okay. And Mary Heine Sensei said it a week after he physically passed on. The whole dojo in Tokyo became sexist. Wasn't that way when those sensei was alive? Men and women trained together. All of a sudden, they started getting on you if you didn't pay your dues. And everything got small and tight. Okay. After he'd gone for about a week. So there was something he was doing. One of the senior people in Santa Cruz, Glenn Kimoto, his brother studied at Hombu Dojo when Osensei was alive because he was military club. But then he'd go train at Hombu. And he said that, when he would get around the dojo, he'd start running because there's this energy. He's going to the dojo, he gets close to the dojo, he starts to run to the dojo. One day he's there and he's walking to the dojo. He goes in the dojo, finds out Sensei had passed on. And so, one of the things is it's really difficult. What do we do? Well, we have to find that place in ourselves. You see what I mean? That's why I created Aikido. I mean, to put people around and better learn jujitsu for that because that's what people do these days. But okay. You know, Einstein postulated gravity waves. As gravity exists and the particles of things move, energy moves also gravity. Okay, and what, you know, and so in no sense they said Aikido wa inro kuma kanren. He says that it's really practice in cultivating yourself as a gravitational center. When Stephen Curry's on the court, he has gravity. He's an ordinary looking guy with basketball. If he walked in here, he'd be a giant. Okay. He makes Subway sandwich commercials now. An ordinary guy. He's going to make 60 million a year. Okay. Is he smarter than us? Probably not. But he has gravity. He uplifts. He's also very good at what he does. That helps. But, you know, you could have that. There are a lot of basketball players that are taller, that are more highly regarded by the establishment. They don't have that gravity he has. And right about here, then he creates things with that gravity. You know, he does magical things. Okay. Because when gravity bends space-time, energy particles move. And there was a sensei using his consciousness, whatever it was that he was, when he could walk into a room and go, oh. And, you know, since he's not physically here anymore, it's kind of up to us to find that in ourselves through our practice, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to just continue. Modo te doru. Okay, there are things that we can begin to do here. Variation of what we did before. If you want to kind of switch to other movements, you can do that. But one of the things we're doing right here is just clear technique. If he grabs on subtly and hard, boom, good. Okay, here we go. Here's the boom. What about here? Everything's dying. Why? Because my gravity level is lessening. So here, boom. When you're going this way, here, boom, boom, boom. Oh, we're going to repair up different parts, spread out because we're going to take more space. You don't understand what I'm saying. You don't have to. It just has to kind of bubble up through you. You see what I mean? If you understand it, you're a little slow. If it bubbles up long enough, you'll understand it. You understand? Okay, yeah. I'd say that's a catchphrase. You understand? It's just on a feel level. Okay, so spread out, change partners. Yeah. One of the things right here, gravity waves, gravity waves, gravity waves. Almost anything. We understand gravity. We understand the universe. Okay. So open. All your teammates or playmates that when you achieve kind of this clearer, purer place, you know, all this stupid weight creates all this stupidity in our systems. The senses get clogged, all of a sudden all we can think is stupid, heavy thoughts about stupid, heavy things. And there's good stuff and there's bad, and we get stuck in light and dark and judgment, and we're all clogged up and we're a mess. And if we could sort of just open up. See, since he's not here physically, we have to find it for ourselves. That's harder. If he just showed up and walked into the room, we'd go, what's that? He just came in. You see what I mean? It was apparently that. People could tell when he was gone. They go to the dojo, he was gone. Then all of a sudden, people walking in, and he's back. Some blocks away. They could say, I think I'll back. Said, yeah, he's back. You know, he's that strong. He could lift you know, a whole city block. Right? So, you know, for kind of whatever, right, there's a variety of different things. So, you know, look at well, we need to. We got one of those movements. Whoa. It even happened to have to be for that moment. You let your friends do it. You're there, you're part of it, you know what's going on, but you know, you let them kind of, you're part of a dance with your friends. You're part of a nice neighborhood project with your friends. And, you know, you're there doing everything you should do, but you're clear. So you're attracting those. I mean, that's one way of maybe looking at calming, you know. Because I had this discussion with Robert Frazier, and said, this one teacher, very spiritual, very zen, warrior. He said, that's not that. Boom. Tradition was shamanic. You know? The universe is alive. It's conscious. It breathes. We're a part of it. We can bond with it. It has different aspects. Or, a little free form, but after a while, you're still doing a martial art, but it's the motivation for it coming from a different arena. Right? There's still that stir and whatever it is there. The parent places are there somewhere. But you know, as you have many kids, the parents soften. Yeah, you become better parents actually. Yeah. Okay, maybe we could go. Even more. It pulls you in. Gravity pulls you in. Pulls you in. Pulls you in. Yeah? Gravity has waves to it. Boom. Right here, boom, it pulls you in, doesn't it? Boom. Pulls you in, doesn't it? Boom. Right? Oh, it's a warrior game now. I want to see what Steph does. Boom, he's got gravity. Go to the dojo. Oh, Sensei's there. Wow, I feel it from a block away. Wow. And then when you do that, I mean, the tricky thing, he's not here anymore physically, so we got to find it our own. Right? Whew. That's energy. Told you. It's gravity. It's energy. Told you. Okay. Go. Go. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're gonna bow out. Yeah. So there's an expression in Japanese, nani nani dare dare to en ga aru. And the way, you hear that a lot. So I finally asked Mary Haney Sensei, because my Japanese was pretty almost non-existent when I first got there. He says an en is a faded connection. It's somebody that pulls you along your path, find out who you are. The things that really motivate you. The people that really kind of touch you, you sort of have a gravity connection, a soul to soul, spirit to spirit, self to self. Okay. I know, the thing with the Warriors, it was so bad, and all of a sudden they become really good. But, I'll probably never meet them. But I remember when they really had their darkest hour and they blew a 3-1 lead to the Cavaliers, right? It was 2000. I was in Hawaii then, and they were playing Game 7, and Steph threw a behind-the-back pass to Klay Thompson, anticipating Thompson was going to come out, and it went out of bounds because Thompson didn't read it, and I went, oh. And what was funny was I read later that, Curry said, it didn't bother me I lost the game. We lost the game because that really, is you're playing a game, win or lose, you go out there. Yeah, you want to win. He said, what really bothered me was that behind the back pass I threw. And that was in the middle of a Game 7 for a championship. Yeah, you lose some, win some, you lose some. Because, the other thing is we all lose, right? If you're going to lose, you might as well lose competing for it all. And then you realize, maybe my mindset wasn't as focused when I'm kind of trying to showboat, when every possession is for the championship and the win. And I thought that was interesting. And then what was funny was I think it was 2018, they had the Currys had their third child, and it was they gave him the name Cannon, but it was Cannon W. Jack Curry. My name being Jack Wada, Jack W. All of a sudden, I said, hey, that's actually kind of cool. That I probably will never meet this guy, right? But sometimes you have a simpatico with somebody, even though you don't. And I remember when I first started Aikido, I see pictures of our sensei, and wow, there was kind of a pull, a gravity that was moving me towards. And then when I get Shingu, he is always telling people that if you're here studying with me, you have a faded connection to the founder. That's why he would put it. So there's that area right there where, and so what I'm saying is that we don't have him physically here to pull us. So it's up to us to actually do what he was talking about, clear the senses, clear our consciousness, bond to the energies, the forces of creation, which are positive. And in the very beginning, one thing O-sensei found out as he did more and more of his Usagi was the loving. Everything is bound together. Gravity and love are very, very similar. You'll go through walls for something you love. And, that's where science doesn't kind of understand it yet. That, if I were to say, what is love? Well, love is that attraction, that primary thing that holds everything together, right? You have Izanagi, you have Izanami. What's the binding force? It's love. You have Amaterasu, you have Susanoo. What's the binding force? Love. Yeah, they go through the light, dark variations, but it's that binding force. Okay, and so when we look at the Aikido, what we're really doing is we're understanding ourselves in a type of more clarity, purity, more of an uplifting nature, as we're training in understanding what gravity is. Gravity is love. Okay? And so when we're training a good class, you kind of feel uplifted and grounded simultaneously. You feel clear. If you've been thinking a lot of dense thoughts or worries, all of a sudden you're in a pure zone with yourself. And then if we're smart, we hang out there more before we get back into the negative thinking, the heavy thoughts. Okay? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, let's make a circle. Yeah, it's just